It's the 2022 North Dakota State Volleyball Preview Show with the #1 overall seed and the champs out of Region 1. That is the Northern Cast Jaguars. I'm Chase Miller. Thank you so much for tuning in. And we will have all three of the broadcasts as well on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday for our audio-only broadcast here on YourLiveEvent.com following Northern Cast throughout the state volleyball tournament. It's the third consecutive season for Northern Cast to make it to state and the fourth time in 5 years. They have one state title in program history in 2013, and we'll look to add on to that this season. Northern Cast just has one loss on the year. That comes to Thompson. Otherwise, they've been able to take care of business as they did with wins over Sargent County, Wyoming, Lidgerwood, and Kindred en route to a Region 1 championship last week in Enderlin. For Northern Cast last season, finishing state runner-up, they will love to get back to that state championship, but it starts on Thursday afternoon at 5 o'clock right here on YourLiveEvent.com for an audio-only broadcast as they go up against the champs of Region 6 in the Our Redeemers Night. So make sure you tune in for that. Coming up on our preview show, we'll hear from all 15 roster players. We'll hear from Angie Johnson as well. So let's get right to our Northern Cast State Volleyball preview show with our player interviews here on Your Live Event. It's the Northern Cast State Volleyball Tournament Preview Show. Joining us now is on the left-hand side of your screen, that's Haidyn Crockett, and on the right-hand side of your screen, that is Halle Crockett, a pair of sisters here on this one. And first and foremost, let's start with the older sister, Halle. What does it mean for you here a little bit as the Region Senior Athlete of the Year, senior as well, to get nominated by your fellow coaches here in Region 1 to earn that distinction as the Senior Athlete of the Year?
Yeah, it's amazing. I'm obviously so proud of myself, but also I couldn't have gotten it without my teammates and my coaches. They challenge me every day. And I've been so thankful to be a part of such a successful program over the years, which has helped me a lot. And
you mentioned challenging you every day. Does Haidyn challenge you every day on the volleyball court?
Oh, yeah.
Sisters?
Yeah, for sure.
How has this journey been like, too, with Haidyn for you as a senior, her as a sophomore, just to continue to see you both develop, on the volleyball court throughout this season?
Yeah, it's awesome. I've seen her grow so much from the beginning of the year, and it's awesome to see as a sister and have her out there on the court with me. We make so many more memories, so.
And for you, Haidyn, what's it like playing with older sister Halle? I'm sure there's no love lost sometimes on the court between you two.
Yeah. She's definitely a leader. I really look up to her for a lot of things, and she just gives me tips and all that stuff, so that's really useful. I'm very lucky to play with her, and yeah.
What have you learned from your time here, Haidyn, on having a chance, as a freshman to understand kind of what a state tournament feeling is like, now getting more of an opportunity to play a little bit as well in the rotation here as a sophomore? What have you kind of learned from the upperclassmen here the last couple of years?
Yeah, it's really just been a very good experience and knowing what Jaguar volleyball is like. And I'm so lucky that I'm able to be part of it.
And you mentioned what's Jaguar volleyball. If someone's never been to a practice before, if someone hasn't seen you guys play on the court here the last couple of years, what's the best representation of Jaguar volleyball? What's a couple of traits that kind of stand out? We'll start with Haidyn, then I'll ask Halle. But Haidyn, for you specifically, what kind of stands out as being part of this team?
I'll just say it's just like a family. We all love each other and just support one another through everything, and just we're all there for each other. So that's nice.
Halle?
And with that, I would say hard work, grit, commitment. We have a lot of dedication with our coaches and our players. So that is awesome to see. And fun, of course. We all have a good time.
And the one thing here, you make it to state. Sometimes you play a team maybe a second or third time throughout the years. Other times you're facing a brand new opponent that maybe you haven't ever played before. So, Halle, once you get to state, what's it like playing an opponent that maybe you really haven't seen this season compared to playing a Kindred or a Central Cass or someone, the second or third time throughout the year?
Yeah, I think it could be a good thing playing a team that you haven't played before. Obviously, they haven't played us either, so we're kind of in the same boat there. So, I think it'll be good. They're a good, talented team, but so are we. So we'll just take that and go with it.
What do you hope to gain from the experience the last couple of years that you played, where a lot of these varsity players have had at least an opportunity to play on a state tournament level floor, Halle? What do you hope that you gain from the last 2 years to bring it with you here this season in 2022?
Yeah, obviously we have that experience coming back, which will help us. Our end goal is to get to that ship again. And win it like we did last year. So that's our goal, but we're just going to take it one game at a time.
Hayden, for you, what's been a good memory from whether it's with your sister Hallie or maybe there's another different memory during your time as a Jaguar volleyball player? What is a memory or two that really has stood out with you so far throughout your career?
I would say just winning the regionship. Like, that was just such a fun night and just a memory that I won't ever forget. So, and I can't wait for the state. So,
and for you a little bit here, what's it like just watching Josie Jensen at 6'3" towering you in practice? If you have to be in the back row on the opposite side, take us through that. If you have no one's blocking at the net, here comes 6'3" middle hitter Josie Jensen, and you're in the back row. What's that like trying to keep a ball up there in the back?
Yeah, she's a very talented player, and I'm lucky that I'm able to be up front row with her because she definitely makes me look really good and we put up a good block. So yeah, it's been a fun experience playing with her, and yeah.
And for Hallie, same question here, just from a memory point of view. You've had a lot of really good teams to play with here on this volleyball court here for Northern Cass, but what's a memory or two that kind of sticks out to you so far?
I mean, first time I went to state, that was a great memory. So I see where Hayden's coming from that because it's something you won't ever forget, that feeling. And like I said, just being a part of such a hardworking, committed program over the years has been awesome because with that, we've had so much success, and I wouldn't trade that for the world, all the hard work that we put in. So,
all right, final one will be a fun one maybe here. Sibling rivalry. Is it a thing on the court or not once you finally get into games, or is it more of a sibling rivalry when you're on different sides of the net maybe once you're practicing?
Oh, boy.
I mean, I think we've been good this year. Like, obviously, I'll make comments and kind of coach her around every once in a while because she's my sister. But I mean, we work well together. We have a great bond. We're like best friends, so it's awesome. It's more of a good thing than a bad thing, I'd say.
Hayden, anything else to elaborate on that?
No, I love being on the court with her, and it's such a great experience. I'm very lucky to have her as my sister and be able to play with her. So yeah.
Awesome. Well, the Crockett sisters, thanks so much for your time and best of luck here at the Bismarck Event Center here at the state volleyball tournament.
Thank you.
The 2022 Northern Cass Jaguars heading back to state here, the champs out of Region 1, and join us now a couple of all-region players is Noelle Erickson alongside Josie Jensen. And, well, let's start there. What does it mean? We'll start with the senior first, Noelle, to be nominated here to the Region 1 all-region team by your fellow peers and your fellow coaches here.
I mean, obviously it was a great accomplishment, and it really meant a lot to me because I've been working hard over these past few years, but I couldn't have done it without my amazing team, especially my hitters, because, I mean, I wouldn't get recognized if they weren't so good at hitting my sets. So, yeah, couldn't do it without them. Same question to you, Josie. What does it mean as a junior here to get nominated and recognized here for the year you've had so far?
I mean, it's so exciting just because, to think about next year, too. It's going to be so fun. I mean, it's a great accomplishment, obviously, but just like Noelle said, you couldn't do it without your teammates. Like Cady Evenson back there getting digs every single play. Noelle's getting sets. Addy getting sets. Everybody's contributing.
Let's start with this at the state volleyball tournament. You get to see all different 8 regions, and sometimes it's tough to play teams like Dickinson Trendy or Kenmare Bullbells or your opponent in a Redeemer sometimes throughout this season. But Noelle, for you, how fun is it playing different teams once you get to a state tournament atmosphere that maybe you haven't seen before?
It's really great, and I think it really shows how good of teams we have here in North Dakota in Class B, and it really kind of just proves to everyone that it's not done once you just win regionals, and you still have to keep working hard because these teams are working just as hard as you, and they're, I mean, all great players that are at the state tournament, so it just kind of shows you do have a lot to play for, which is really
What do you hope the experience that this team has had now 3 straight years going to state that kind of pays off in the last 2 seasons here, Noelle?
I really think going the past 3 years has really helped us kind of on the mental side of the game, which is just the nerves of these big games, because, I mean, all the teams there are great. So I really think that helps us because we have experience there, but also it's a different team every year, but we have really showed up this year and last year, which is good. So I'm pretty excited to play.
And Josie, what do you hope to take over from your Region 1 championship, 3 straight days in Enderlin last week? What do you hope to carry over from maybe that championship game against Kindred going into the quarterfinals coming up on Thursday afternoon?
Yeah, I hope to carry our energy because I feel like it really showed in the championship that we wanted to be there and we wanted to move on to the next level. And I hope that carries over into Bismarck, that we want to be there and we're there to win.
How fun has it been, you, Josie, this year playing front row, playing back row, just never really taking too many opportunities off on a particular chance? I know talking with Angie coming into the season saying, yeah, Josie's playing back row, so get ready for a 6'3" girl that's going to go sideline to sideline. What has that been like this year for you at the varsity level?
It's so fun. It's brand new experience for me. I never really had experience back there, but it's awesome to work with like our back row players in practice too, to get better that way. And just learning more from like an offensive side now going into defense. Like it's a whole new experience.
And for you, Noelle, with this a two-setter rotation with you and Addie Rust, how much communication do you guys talk about on a particular volleyball match? Once you're maybe taking a quick break on the bench, she comes in, or vice versa as a volleyball match continues?
I think we communicate a lot, especially in practices too, because we are on in different times and we can see different things from like the sidelines. So I think that helps. And when we are subbing in and out, like we're telling each other like which hitter is on and like who to kind of set and like what's working out there. So I think we work really well together, and I'm very confident when she and the other hitter goes in. So that's good.
Take us through the best Angie Johnson moment here that, she's not in the room or anything, but what are some things that you've learned from Coach Johnson throughout your time as a Northern Cast Jaguar that you think you can apply, whether it's in court or just everyday life? Noelle, we'll start with you on this. What are some things that you'll take away from your time looking back, 2-3 years down the road here once you're wrapped up here with Northern Cast?
I would really say never take anything for granted, and also like hard work does pay off, but the work never ends. I think she really implements, people are working just as hard as you and they're trying, being seeded number one or being number one in the region, like people are coming for you, and all starts in the gym and in practice that you need to keep working hard and keep a good attitude and keep good energy to kind of succeed. And I think she really just has implemented on her whole team just hard work, and hopefully it'll get her done. But yeah, starts in the gym.
Hey, Josie, same question to you.
For me, it's you can control what you can control. You're not going to block every ball. You're going to get blocked sometimes, but you can't really do much about it. You just got to keep your head down and keep working.
All right, well, I know some fun ones here. What's better, the set or the kill? As we're talking to a middle hitter and a setter, what one is better in volleyball? I think we got to start with the person who puts it, so to speak, on a tee. So, Noelle, what's better, the set or the kill?
Oh, God. I'm going to have to go with the kill. It's don't get any ideas, but it's just so much more exciting. And then everyone gets excited, especially when it just hits the ground at like coming at a fast pace. Like it just gets the gym going, which is always really fun, but couldn't do it without the set. So
Josie, for you, what's better? And well, you can add to this as well, the kill or the block. Which one is better from a standpoint of, okay, you can tally up 15, 20 kills in a match, but you might get that one block that changes the trajectory of everything. So what is better?
I would honestly say the block, because like certain kills, they're good, like they're really exciting, but like nothing beats when you get your hand over the net and get a solid contact and the ball just like drops right in front of them.
Okay. To now go to the back row of Josie, is it better on a sprawling attempt dig or just a perfect pass to a setter? What is better, like the corner-to-corner dig to keep one alive? Or, hey, you had such a good pass to the setter that Noelle didn't have to really do too much work to get that off to a hitter?
Probably the perfect pass, because, our setters always are working like one side of the court to the other side of the court. It's so nice just to not have them have to move.
It is very nice.
And then just being able to watch that set go, and it's almost always a kill every single time. So
final thing for Noelle here, favorite volleyball memory of all time from Northern Cast, what would that be? Is it a region championship? Is it making it to state? Is it a 5-setter somewhere that went down to the wire in regular season? What stands out during your time so far as a Jag?
Probably these past 2 years, honestly. They've been really fun. I mean, I've got to play with all of my closest friends. Josie Jensen here is one of my best friends. And I don't know, it's just so fun to be out there with everyone you're close to and just working hard for the same goal and being successful. So I'd say that. And also just having this Angie Johnson as my coach for all 4 years of high school. So it's just been really fun to grow with her too.
Hey, girls, thanks so much for your time. Noelle, Erickson, and Josie Jensen. Best of luck here in the capital city at another state tournament for Northern Cass.
Thank you.
2022 Northern Cass Volleyball State Tournament Preview Show rolls along here with another couple of Northern Cass Jaguar players. That again is Jocelyn, Aasen, and Paige Bosch join us here. And Jocelyn, let's start with you. What does it mean with this senior class? I know we talked a little bit on Wednesday night in Enderlin to get back to state, but now that you've had about a week to kind of reminisce and know that you're heading back to Bismarck, what does it mean?
Yeah, it's definitely bittersweet. I've kind of done some reflecting and I just realized that these are my last couple games, but it's definitely not many people are blessed to have these next couple games, so really just gonna go out there and do everything we can and play our hardest.
And Paige, for you here, what's it been part of this team this season to find yourselves as a region champ, to find yourself with a lot of wins and matches, and to find yourself here to a state tournament? What does it kind of mean for you?
It's been really exciting to watch everybody grow and kind of reflect on like how I want to turn out, I guess. I don't know. It's been pretty fun.
And let's talk about that. What is it like from your point of view, Paige, going up against a Jocelyn on the court or a Halle on the court? Some of these seniors, what's it like in practice? Take us inside a little bit on how you're trying to develop a little bit more every day from your point of view as a player.
It's pretty challenging, but they make me better. And every time that they would hit it at me, I would show progress in that.
And then for you, Jocelyn, this particular time, I've asked all the girls this, what's maybe harder? Is it the volleyball match itself? Is it practice sometimes? What kind of feels harder when you guys are going back and forth, when you do have a really solid practice? And I'm sure you guys kind of like to get after it as a team that's had a lot of success your last couple of seasons.
Yeah, we like to challenge each other. We also have people that come in and challenge us on the other side of the court, like our JV or other varsity players, but then we also have people come in that challenge us. And then we also just get great competition, like within our region, without our region, getting to those tournaments. People challenge us all the time.
How fun is it, though, now that you get to go to a state tournament and play a team that maybe you never have played before during your time in your career, or at least for this season here? How fun is it to maybe learn about someone new or see how maybe a brand of volleyball similar but, different, so to speak, from a different region across the state here, Jocelyn?
Yeah, it's definitely interesting to see different teams because we get so used to watching the teams in our region. So it's definitely going to be fun to play different teams, see different hitters, see different defenses, just everything like that.
Paige, for you specifically here, what's been a volleyball memory or two that kind of has stood out to you during your time here as a Northern Cass Jag?
There's been a lot of good ones. I don't know if I could specifically choose one. I'm not really sure.
Is there just take us through the moment in the Region 1 championship when the final point is won. Paige, what kind of goes through a player's mind when you know that, hey, the season moves on, you're heading to a state tournament, you're region champs? What's kind of going through your mind at that point?
Well, it's very rewarding and exciting that we all get to go there as a team.
And then for you, Jocelyn, at the end of the day here, being a senior, are you savoring this week a little bit more? As you kind of mentioned, it's hitting you. So are you understanding of just kind of, hey, every day is another chance to have a memory, but every day it's one step closer to reaching your goal, but also one step closer to being the final swan song, so to speak?
Yeah, it's definitely, I've been soaking everything in. It's hard. It's such a long season, but you also have to just keep thinking about that goal, and we just got to keep thinking about our goal, keep pushing towards it, and just keep savoring in all those moments because they are our last. And just, yeah.
I like to ask a players this, is it better to have a dig in the back or a kill at the net? So I'll start there here, Jocelyn. Which one is better on a long rally? Is it to finish it off with a kill, or is it to keep it going, so to speak, on a cover or in the back row? What do you prefer as a player?
I would definitely say a dig, just because I don't really know, but you just feel kind of unstoppable when you get that dig. That really good dig.
And for you, Paige, same question. Which one's better, the final set point kill, so to speak, or a dig that just keeps the rally going?
I gotta say the kill. It's so exciting to see when someone can hit it down that hard and then the other team just can't get that off.
And final thing for you guys here before we let you go, what ultimately do you hope to take? We'll start with Jocelyn here. What do you hope to ultimately take with you from the Region 1 tournament and carry with you here to Bismarck coming up this week starting on Thursday?
I definitely think a lot of our things came together, like our defense, our offense was all coming together and we were playing as one, and just our energy coming in. Like we definitely, we had 3 sets every match. That was nice. Like just kind of the mentality of like getting it done and playing our game and just how everything came together. That's what I hope to carry.
Last thing for you, Paige, how much is volleyball the true definition of a team sport? I know sometimes we hear about one player can control a match or you get someone who's really on at the service line can change a game. But how have you seen volleyball just kind of be, okay, it's someone else's night or it's an opportunity to play well together? How much is volleyball for you kind of been as a team sport?
Can you repeat that?
Yeah. How much have you enjoyed volleyball, I guess, being as a team sport, knowing that it could be any player on any given night that has a chance to, maybe be the superstar or the star athlete, so to speak, whether it's from the back row to the front row?
They definitely get a lot of hype, and you can kind of use those players a lot more, I guess. But it's more rewarding when we all get to play as one instead of just individually.
Hey, Jocelyn, Paige, thanks so much for your time. Best of luck here coming up in the Bismarck Event Center at the state tournament this week.
Yes, thank you. Hopefully see you there.
The 2022 Northern Cache Jaguars again making their way to the Bismarck Event Center, the 3rd consecutive season here for Northern Cache to make a state tournament. And joining us now again is Abby Weible and Cadence Evenson here. And Cadence, let's start with you first and foremost. What's it mean to have a chance to get back to the Bismarck Event Center here and play 3 more matches with this 2022 version of the Jaguars?
It's really bittersweet, and I'm just so excited to have guaranteed all the rest of the team and the seniors another 3 more games to really finish out our volleyball season.
Abby, take us through the memory. Enderlin, a little power outage there during the championship match, and then you were able to sweep the Kindred Vikings. When that final point comes through, what's going through your mind as a player?
Oh, just being on the bench and like making sure that we were just all excited. We all were holding hands. It was just a good environment, and then we were ready to go. It was really good.
Take us through momentum in volleyball a little bit here, Abby, from the bench standpoint. Can you kind of feel it when, all right, Northern Cache is starting to kind of hit their swag, so to speak, or hitting their run where 4 or 5 points are coming through? Can you feel that on the bench a little bit, carrying that momentum with you in a match?
You can definitely feel it. It's like the energy's there. Everyone's all excited and pumped up, and it's just like, it's going to be good for a long time. The energy is just so good.
Cadence, for you, what's it been like in practice, being in the back row, going up against an Elise, an Aasen, a Jensen, a Crockett, to try to keep those balls up consistently and continue to have a rally going in practice? You don't have to worry about it in the match, but in practice, what's it like going up against some of the best hitters and a senior athlete of the year in Region 1 in Halle Crockett?
So it's obviously really challenging, but they're really good for me to improve and get better. And I think that they really make all the other defensive players better, including themselves, because when those outsides go in the back row and like, let's say Josie or Elise is hitting at them, that they improve as well. So I think that they really benefit the whole team, not necessarily like myself included, but the whole team as to make them better defensive players.
And you mentioned better defensive players. Is there a secret to playing libero? I mean, at the end of the day, or being a defensive specialist? I mean, I know you guys get quote unquote, it's kind of like the catcher's position in softball or baseball. You're there all the time. You might not get a lot of attention at times if you're doing your job right, because you're getting a dig, you're making a good pass. But is there a secret or two to keep volleyball, having a good pass, having a good dig, anything that you can kind of give us the inside scoop on?
So Angie, she always tells us, she's like, you have to stay outside the block and then you have to read their hands. So I say just reading and being able to see the hitter really helps you react to get those balls up.
And Abby, I'm going to ask you a question like this. Is it more terrifying from a Josie Jensen kill or tip? Because at 6'3", she can come up there and get you the 90-mile-an-hour fastball or throw the tip out. What is more terrifying from your point of view?
I would definitely say her swing is insane. It's very scary, especially when we're playing queens in practice and there's no block and you just have to dig it. You just have to be ready for it. And you never know which way it's going because it goes so fast.
And Abby, what's a favorite volleyball memory or two for you during your time here so far with Northern Cass?
I would definitely have to say it was either last year or the year before. We were practicing and we had like these stairs set up and to go up on our stage, and our coach, Portal, she like stepped back and she like fell over them and she ended up like breaking her toe, and it was super funny. It was like really fun.
The good news is the toe is fine though, right?
Yeah, she was good.
That's the good news on that one. Cadence, same question for you. What has been a memory or two or a story or two that kind of stands out to you during your time here with Northern Cass?
So, I mean, it was kind of said in our interview after we won the region championship, just being able to play with all my girls that I've grown up with playing volleyball since I was in 5th grade with them, and just being able to truly finish out my senior season at state is such a blessing, and I'm just so grateful for all of that and all the experiences that I've been given. So I really couldn't pick a single moment. It's just all of it combined. It's just my volleyball career has been such a blessing.
And let's kind of follow up on that. The senior six, so to speak, what has it been about this group that's been able to stay together and have a lot of really good success being part of a team to get to state for a 3rd consecutive season? What do you think the secret sauce is, so to speak, here, Cadence?
I would say just like all of us, especially the whole team as a whole, but us senior six, we've grown up together, growing up in a small school. We all taken the same classes. All of us been going to Northern Cass since kindergarten, except for I think Noelle and Halle, and then we've taken them in and we've really had we've grown together. And I think just that chemistry on and off the court has really helped build up this program and this team to make it as successful as it has been.
Abby, what is the best play in volleyball? Is it a dig? Is it an assist? Kill, block, ace? What is the best play in volleyball from a player's perspective from your point of view?
I would think like digging and getting a kill is like the best, because you can't pass the ball. Like you can't hit a ball without passing it, and you can't set without passing. So I would have to go with digging a ball, because it all starts there. You can't go anywhere without it. So
I like it. All right. Final question for you guys before we let you go. Cadence, for you here, just as a senior, what are you kind of reminiscing about a little bit this week, but also know that there is a goal and there is a end game of where you guys want to get to on Saturday, obviously, but are you taking these last practices in maybe a little bit more than back in August to where we are now in November?
Yeah, I mean, it really hasn't hit me that I'm like, wow, I only have 3 more volleyball games guaranteed. And so it's just really enjoying the time that I have left with my amazing teammates and my coaches, and really just soaking it all in.
Abby, what have you learned from your time from the senior class, would you say, on the volleyball court?
One thing that I've learned is that they'll push us to be our absolute best all the time. Like there's never, like they don't go easy on us ever. So they're preparing us for when we're seniors next year, so that we know how to like treat the younger classmen, because they always push us to do our absolute best no matter what.
Abby Weible and Cadence Evenson with us here. Thank you, girls, so much, and best of luck out in the capital city coming up on Thursday through Saturday.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, another couple of players here from the Northern Cass Jaguar volleyball team heading off to Bismarck here in 2022 to state. Join us again is Ashley Pepke and Addie Winterquist join us here. And first and foremost, let's start with Ashley. What does it mean to be heading back to the state tournament here as a chance to, compete on the court and be part of this team here in 2022?
Yeah, this year I'm especially excited to go back to state, because this year I can be on the bench and cheer with my teammates and just like engage with them more than I ever could.
And I know the one thing here on the opposite side, Addie, for you, it's got to be a lot of fun having an opportunity to be part of this team as well in 2022. What I've seen from afar is laughter, having some fun, playing loose, but also being fierce. What are some traits that you've liked about this team that has gotten you to this point here to a state tournament run?
Everyone's very like determined, and like we have goals that we want to achieve. So like working hard and like holding everyone like accountable, like because we know that we can achieve those goals.
Take us through practice. What's a practice like? If no one's been to a Northern Cass practice before, is it more competitive than it feels like the game sometime? We'll start with Addie.
Well, we do like a lot of drills, like skill work with our partner. Then like once it gets to scrimmaging, like really challenging each other, like Josie and Elise challenging me, or like if one of them's off, like giving me like criticism, but like in a constructive way, like helping me like get better. So everyone kind of just wants each other to get better in like a competitive way, but also like we're all teammates and we want each other to get better for the team.
Ashley, I'll let you kind of elaborate off that same question.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely would say sometimes it can be more competitive in practice because not only do we like sometimes we'll just have the varsity roster, like those rotations playing against like other people just getting thrown in on the other side of the court, or like everyone will mix up like on both sides. So I definitely think that brings out the best in us and definitely a good way to challenge us.
Let's take us through some of your favorite memories so far. Ashley, we'll start with you. If there's a memory or two that stands out, whether it's at state, regions, or maybe regular season, what's a memory or two that you're really fond of during your time here at Northern Cass?
Mm-hmm. I would definitely say last year at the region tournament in Capstan when we won the final game, that was probably one of the best feelings I've ever had in volleyball. It was just so fun, and just seeing everyone run out on the court, including some parents even. Like it was just a good time. The like energy everywhere in the atmosphere was just amazing.
Addie?
I'd say my favorite memory was last year when we played Linton here and we won in 5 sets. It was just like even people ran on the court after that game too, and it was just like it was a Saturday game, so like after that it was really early too, so everyone was just like in a great mood. And then I remember our whole team went out and got lunch together after, and we just like that was just an amazing feeling.
So take us through practice a little bit. You already mentioned it. What's it like having to try to block a Josie Jensen or a Crockett, or trying to get ready for a dump kill by a Noelle Erickson, Addy? What's it like for you specifically in practice, trying to keep those plays alive, but also know that you're going up against some of the best in the region and the state here on the opposite side of the net?
Well, trying like my hardest and just trying to like challenge them and like get myself better. It definitely helps like how like fast Josie runs her like ones and stuff like that, like getting up to block, or like when Hallie's hitting, like taking the contact and stuff like that. Like it just helps you get a lot better as a player going against like some of the best players.
And on the opposite side, Ashley, I know we could talk about Jocelyn and a couple other girls too throughout this rotation. Very deep roster for Northern Cass. So what's it like for you when you get that chance to get back and forth when it's kind of quote unquote game action in practice? What's it like?
Mm-hmm. Well, I play back row, and like to kind of go off Addy, like I enjoy challenging the other side and giving them all like good feedback and things they could like do, or like ways they can help me too. I guess it just kind of goes both ways. Like we're always all here to help each other out and just give each other good feedback.
Okay, take us through the tournament run from your point of view when the lights went dark in Enderlin and then you finally were able to win in the championship. Just take us through that rush of the court a little bit. What was going through your mind knowing that it was a three-peat, Ashley, for the Region 1 championship?
Well, I think first of all, we were not expecting Kindred to come out like that, but I think it was a great thing, and like to go off of that, it was just amazing. Like the feeling was amazing. And just going back 3 times in a row is just honestly an honor just to be back there and enjoy that experience again.
And for you, Addie, what does it mean to be back 3 times? I mean, for you to be part of this program here, to be part of another journey, another chapter that has a chance to make some history at Northern Cass, what's it mean?
It means a lot to just like be a part of it and know that like everyone like has their roles and everyone's pushing each other to be better and like just do like all the great things that they can accomplish. It means a lot.
Last thing for you guys, what's the best part about being on this volleyball team? We'll start with Addie here. What's the best part about being a Northern Cass Jaguar volleyball player?
Definitely like all the memories you make with all the coaches and all the like your teammates. It's just like you build so many relationships with people like you might not talk to. Like me and Ashley, like I'm a sophomore and she's a senior, and like we have so much fun. And like if I never played volleyball or wasn't ever on this team, like I might have never had that like relationship, but like just making so many like fun memories and bonds.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing for you, Ashley.
Yeah, I'd say the best part being like a part of this team is definitely like the relationships you make, and like those relationships are also strong since like our school is a lot smaller, so we're able to like build them further outside of practice. And I don't know, it's just a great team. They're all great girls. We have a great coaching staff. It's just amazing.
Ashley Pepke and Miss Addie Winterquest, thank you so much for your time here coming up throughout the state volleyball tournament, and best of luck this week out in Bismarck.
Thank you.
The 2022 Northern Cache Jaguars again heading back to the state tournament out in Bismarck, and a pair of Jags join us again here. That is Ellie Lucas and alongside Addison Rustin. For you girls specifically here, Ellie, let's start with you. What does it mean? I know there's some family recipe, so to speak, the last couple of seasons with your older sister to make it to state, and you've been part of those teams as well. But what does it mean here for your junior season to make it back to a state tournament?
I mean, I'm really lucky to be able to go to state all 3 years, and I'm just excited, and hopefully we can really make this one memorable this year.
And for you, Addie, when the final point happened in Enderlin, after the little bit of a blackout, after hearing your student section sing, I think it was Holy Night or Silent Night in the background as well, what was it like as a player when that final point came that you knew you're heading back to another state tournament?
You know, it was really exciting. Like, our crowd was just amazing, and like it was just a really fun time for us to return back to state and celebrate it.
And for you, Addie, what's a favorite memory or two that you kind of have during your time here on the volleyball court with Northern Cass?
I think just like the state appearance and like the experience of it is just super fun, and like such a great time to be with your teammates. And
Ellie, same question for you.
It's just really fun. The experience is like one that you'll never forget. And it's just a great time to go to state because you bond as a team, and it's memories that you'll never forget.
Take us through practice a little bit. I've been asking all the players, what's it like going up against some of these players, whether it's been in the back row with Cadence, maybe you got some setters as well as we know here with Noelle and yourself here, Addie, as well. What's it been like kind of coming back and forth in practice? Take us through, Addie, what is it when you guys are able to get on a practice court and translate it into a game? Do you feel sometimes the practices are even more intense because you want to beat your fellow friend, you want to beat your fellow classmate sometimes a little bit throughout the season?
Well, yeah, I mean, in the last 2 weeks, we've had really focused practices and like scrimmaging like against each other. We have such great hitters and great defense, like playing against each other and like practicing, getting those reps really helps us like transform it into games.
And how much do you talk with Noelle throughout a volleyball match? How much you guys are sharing information from your particular spot on the court?
Yeah, like we really share like what's open, like what we see on the other side, and then what to set, what like hits are open, so we can give our hitters the best sets that we can.
And for you, Ellie, here, this opportunity to make it back to state, we kind of mentioned it before, but at the end of the day, do you feel like there's practices sometimes that are maybe even more challenging than games just because of how much you guys want to make each other better and kind of improve, you know, every day on the court?
Yeah, for sure. Our practices get really competitive, and I can say that we sometimes care more about our scrimmages than some games. But yeah, I think we always have that competitive spirit, and we all want to beat each other in a fun and friendly way.
Yeah, without question. I'm sure Angie doesn't want you guys to be too non-friendly at times, but take us through an Angie Johnson saying or something that you've taken through your time from Coach Johnson here. Ellie, we'll start with you. What's been one or two things that you've kind of taken from her, whether it's been on the volleyball court or maybe just, you know, in everyday life?
Oh, this is a good question. She always says the statement, "We are women," which I always remember because at the end of the day, we are women. So that one always makes me laugh. And then she always just like makes me feel better after I make a mistake. So I'll never forget that about her, that she never made me feel bad for like missing a serve.
Addie, same question for you for Coach Johnson. Is there an Coach Johnson-ism or saying that really stands out, or a memory that stands out for you?
I think I like her statement, "We are women too." Like it always comes with a good joke or a good conversation when it is said. So yeah, it really like brings up the spirit and the happiness.
Okay, so we had a chance to talk with Noelle and Josie, and I asked them the same question. It got a little heated. What's better, the set or the kill? Which one is better in volleyball, the set or the kill? We'll start with the setter here, Addie, first. Which one is more important in the game of volleyball?
Well, as a setter, I really like seeing my hitters like get a big kill. Like that's awesome for me to see. But I think kills are pretty fun to celebrate. But I love when I have a good set and they just kill it.
Ellie, same question for you. Which one is better? I mean, it takes a good setter to give a good opportunity to hit a kill. But at the end of the day, if you hit it flush, you did your job as well as an outsider hitter.
As a wannabe setter, I think a set would be pretty good.
Wannabe setter. Have you told Coach Johnson about that you want to be a wannabe setter? Has she allowed you to be in the rotation?
She just laughs at me. I do try to do it during practice. It doesn't work. So I think I'll stick to my hitting.
Okay, perfect. And we'll continue here. One or two fun ones to end here. Same thing. Best play in volleyball. Ace, is it a block? Is it keeping a long volley alive with a dig in the back that no one thought anybody was going to get after? Addie, we'll start with you. What is one of the best plays in volleyball from your point of view, just as a player, no matter what position you are on the court?
Personally, I think like those long rallies, like it's really fun to win those points, and yeah, it's just super exciting to celebrate them too.
Ellie?
A good dig. I like a good dig, with a long rally and having a good dig, and then finishing a long rally with a block is always just a momentum goes up there.
Yeah, the momentum killer without question. That's the final thing we'll finish on here. How much in volleyball is it a game of swings? Is it a game of momentum? When you kind of can feel it on your side of the court here, Addie, how much does that carry with you when you're on the floor?
Well, yeah, I love when our momentum goes up, like after kill, or like even those like easy points just to like get a kill, no matter if it's a tip or a set jump or like an ace, like those really make us go crazy. So fun.
Last thing for you, Ellie, what do you hope to carry over from your time in Enderlin with those 3 wins to the state tournament coming up on Thursday?
I hope we just carry our chemistry. I think we played really well in the region championship, so I hope that just is how we play on Thursday, Friday, and then hopefully Saturday.
Ellie and Addie, thanks so much for your time, and best of luck here at the state volleyball tournament on Thursday out in Bismarck.
Thank you so much.
As we continue here on our 2022 state volleyball preview, now we have a trio of Jaguars join us, Elise, Tess, and Lauren. And first and foremost, girls, congratulations on making it to the state tournament. Elise, we'll start with you, a part of the senior class here, getting to state one more opportunity. It's got to feel, the last couple of days have had to feel pretty sweet for you from Enderlin to where we are right now as you're ready to play another match, Elise, a little bit for you, doesn't it?
It does. I'm really excited to play with my team one more time. We have 3 more games coming up, hopefully, fingers crossed. And it's a really big deal for all of us, everyone, all the way from our freshmen to our seniors. So it's just that energy that's really coming into the gym and practice and going 110% every day, and we're having a good time.
Tess, for you here, what does it mean? What was it like knowing that final point came down and rushing the floor, winning another Region 1 championship? Just take us through what was your kind of look at it from a player point of view in Enderlin on Wednesday night.
Being a freshman, one of the newbies on the team, it's always such a rush to like win this big game against our rivalry. And so this game was a big opportunity to prove ourselves from last year and just having fun throughout it all.
You mentioned fun. I'll ask Lauren this. How much fun has it been this season? I mean, 35 wins out of 36 matches, to be part of a team that just has found consistency from top to bottom, whether it's been any class. How much fun has it been for you?
It's been so much fun just getting to celebrate and be with the team. Everyone's like such a good teammate. We all have good energy. It's a really great thing to be a part of the team.
How is practice? Take us through practice here. How heated can practices get between you guys a little bit once you get opportunities to scrimmage against one another? We'll start with Lauren here.
Everyone comes into practice. They're ready to give it their all, and it's competitive, but it's also fun, and everyone's like cheering each other on and pushing each other to do their best.
That's the same question.
Yeah, along with that, we're all just here to get each other better. And so we're always pushing each other to do our best. And it's just
And Elise, is there any, words going back and forth in a friendly term, so to speak? Any smack talk going back and forth in practices between the two sides on a particular evening?
Maybe not smack talk, but we definitely use a lot of words of encouragement. Like as a middle, like Lauren's also a middle. So if we see something, along with Josie Jensen, like if we see something that can be fixed, we make sure to communicate that to them. And it's same back. Like Lauren, if Lauren sees something, she'll help me too. So it's just like we're willing to accept feedback. And that's throughout the whole team too.
And you mentioned about communication here, Elise. What's it been like during your time being a freshman, now being a senior? What do you hope to kind of pass along to maybe some of the younger classes here once your time as a Jaguar, does wrap up here?
Honestly, volleyball's been my life for the longest time, probably since 5th grade. And it's just got more and more fun. And my love for the sport has kept growing. So I feel like if that's something I want to pass on, if there's one thing I want to pass on, it's the fact that your love for the sport keeps growing. So, yeah.
And Tess and Lauren, same question, but on a different aspect. What's it been like to learn from the seniors, or what have you taken from your time from the senior class? Tess, we'll start with you. What are some things that you think you'll take with you moving forward here during your time as a JAG?
Seniors are very great role models, and they're always consistently giving feedback, and they're very nice about it. If I'm doing something wrong, they'll give me something to work on, and it's always been such a blessing to have them to teach me.
Lauren, go ahead.
Like Tess said, they're great role models. They're always giving feedback, and just a really great role model.
And then we'll continue here. We'll end on a couple of fun ones. Best play in volleyball. Is it the dig that keeps a rally going? Is it the block at the net that finishes a point? Is it the kill? Is it a set that allows a pretty sweet, assist along the way? Elise, as a hitter, I would maybe assume a kill or a block, but where do you kind of go here? What's the best play in volleyball?
Honestly, nothing hypes me up more than my back row getting that perfect pass. So I'd have to say that perfect pass, because I'm coming in, I'm ready to hit, and Noelle or Addie is ready to set that perfect ball after that perfect pass. So I'd have to say perfect pass.
All right, and to put it on the spot, is Noelle or Addie the better setter? They're not going to hear anything about this. No, I'm kidding. I won't ask you about that one, because you got to go with the senior. Obviously, you got to go with her. But at the end of the day, Elise, what's it been like with a pair of rotation? Because some of you go 6-2, some go 5-1, but to have that balance with both Addie and Noelle as setters, to know that no matter who's on the floor as a hitter, that's going to be, in your area to earn a kill at the end of the day.
Well, I rely a lot on my setters, because I feel like they both have a very full belt of what they want to do, what they know. They're both very, very knowledgeable of the sport. And so both of them are really consistent. And so I rely on a lot on them to be consistent and just do what they can do, and I'll do the same.
Hey, Tess, what's the best play in volleyball from your point of view?
I would say digging as well, but it's also such a rush when we have our hitters up and they're ready to swing, and it's just a perfect kill in the middle of the court.
I like it. Lauren?
I agree with both of them, but I'm going to have to go with the block. There's just such great energy and momentum that we get off of having a good block.
Elise, give me an Angie Johnson-ism, or what's something that you've taken away during your time as a Northern Cast player, whether it's been a saying, maybe there was just something that sticks out in your memory about what she's kind of just brought as a coach to this team. What kind of stands out for you, Elise?
Recently, Angie's been saying, handle hard better. And that really sticks out to me, because you will be in hard situations, and it comes down to who handles it better.
I like it. Same question for both Tess and Lauren. We'll start this time with Lauren.
Like Elise said, I agree with that. But she also has such a great relationship with all of her players, and we're all very comfortable receiving feedback, and we know we could go and talk to her about anything.
Go ahead, Tess.
She's always determined to make us better and wants us to be at our best potential. So she's always doing what she can to make us be that best team that we can.
I like it. Okay, final question. Favorite memory all time to this point. Elise, we'll start with you since you're the senior. What's been your best memory so far with this Jaguar volleyball program?
So last year, I ended up breaking the Northern Cast blocking record. And recently, we found out that Josie Jensen broke my record. So honestly, I've never been more proud of a teammate, because it's been a really long record, and I broke it last year. And that fact that Josie broke it this year and she's still going, it just really makes me proud.
Great to hear. Lauren, for you?
Just being a part of the team in general has been really great. And my favorite memory has definitely been winning regionals this year.
And finally, Tess, go ahead.
Along with Lauren, the environment from the team is just amazing to be in. And my favorite would probably have to be going to state twice.
It's going to be a lot of fun. Thank you so much for your time, Lauren, Tess, and Elise, and best of luck here out in Bismarck this Thursday.
Thank you.
Northern Cass ready to get back to a state tournament here for the third consecutive season, and joining us now for Northern Cass, that is their head coach, Angie Johnson. And Angie, let's just recap the Region 1 volleyball tournament. I know after the match got done, we had an opportunity to speak on the post-match show, and I remember asking a question similar of, was that the best brand of volleyball you've kind of seen? Because I know Monday, Tuesday, there were some close matches. You found a way to finish it off, but it just seemed like the girls, for whatever they did beforehand, Angie, they just felt like they were in the zone against Kindred on Wednesday night.
Yeah, I mean, the first 2 days we struggled a little bit on our side of the court, and Sargent County and Weible played amazing, and they played amazing defense and made us earn it, which is what I want to see anyways when you're getting into the postseason. But yeah, the third game, we talked before the game just about, confidence. We need to have confidence. We've been here before. Yeah, we're going to be nervous. That's fine. But I think we just have to know that, this isn't our first time being in this championship game. We know that feeling when you win. And so we have to chase that feeling and just have to play the best that we can play.
And to have 3 players been nominated to an all-region team as a coach, what does that mean specifically with Halle Crockett being a senior athlete, Josie, Jensen, and Noelle Erickson being part of that list? But what does that mean from a coach's perspective to see them also get recognized from fellow coaches across the region?
It's just a great accolade. I mean, across the board with our program too. They're nothing, like they say, they're nothing without their teammates and everything like that. So, obviously they put in the hard hours and the work, and it's great for them to be recognized and at the end of the season, and for their team too. It's great. We're a strong program, and that shows by, having the senior athlete. I think this is the 3rd year in a row we've had the senior athlete, and, it's an accolade to their team members too.
And for you, Angie, once as a coach, you get to this time of the season, how much film work do you have against teams that you haven't played before, out west? I mean, I know there's crossovers and there might be times where you get to play someone throughout a season, but, for example, like the Knights of our Redeemers, there'll be the first chance that you'll really get an opportunity to have your team and their team on opposite sides of the net. So how much work do you do prior to a Thursday quarterfinal, or is it, we're just going to kind of worry about what we can control from a Northern Cass point of view here, Angie?
This year, I think I'm going to do a lot less video for the girls. I think the first 2 rounds of the region tournament, we hadn't seen Weible or Sargent County since the beginning of the season. So we did a lot of video. We took a lot of notes. And I think that, honestly, it made us more stressed because we had more things to think about. So I think for me, I'll probably watch video just to kind of pick out some things. But other than that, I think we're just going to get on the court and just play how we need to play and adjust as needed.
Is there an experience factor that you hope that you can take with you, knowing that this is the 3rd time, knowing that there's some players on the court, that this is their 2nd or 3rd opportunities playing at this type of environment at a state level a little bit here, Angie?
I think it makes a difference. I think no matter what, you're going to be nervous. It means you care. That's what I always tell them. But there is a sort of comfortability once you get over those initial nerves that, like Halle and Noelle and Josie and Ellie and all those girls that have been there, and Elise have been there last year and they were on the court. So obviously they're still probably going to be nervous. There's still going to be some jitters, but I think ultimately we'll be able to calm down, and hopefully that confidence and that experience will take us, where we need to be.
What's it been like playing with a target on your back? You've done it now for a couple seasons. You know that there's a lot of teams, whether it's the region or maybe you get to those 3 setters in a crossover tournament. Everyone sees Northern Cass come in with the gold and the black, and I'm sure they're like, that's the team that we want to pick off here if there's a win that we have this weekend. What's it been like playing with the target on your back? Or do you maybe not feel it as much as maybe some media cohorts like myself like to bring up talking with you?
We feel it for sure. The girls always reference it. At the beginning of the year and throughout the year, we've kind of said that we have to just expect that teams are going to come and they're going to put everything out on the court because they don't have anything to lose when they're against, a team that's ranked. So it's been a lot of mental shifting for us too, having to understand that just because we are ranked where we are doesn't mean that we step on the court and teams are just going to, give us the game and not make any, not do anything that's going to prevent us from winning. So we've had to kind of mentally shift this season into trying to handle those hard situations better. That's kind of our slogan, is handle hard better. We need to be able to step into those situations and make the best of it and earn our points versus waiting for the other team to make the mistake.
Northern Cass head volleyball coach Angie Johnson with us here. One or two more questions for Angie before we let her go. Ultimately, at the end of the day, Angie, what has been the one thing, and there's probably a lot of things, but what's been the one thing that has allowed this team to not just win, but flourish and feel like they're having fun? They're dancing up in between timeouts, and it seems like they're loose from a broadcaster's point of view. But what's been the one thing or trait about this team that has allowed you to get back to Bismarck here, Angie?
I think just the experience factor. I think that's huge when it comes in those tight games and those big games and in the postseason. And just the fact that anybody on our team can put the ball down. It doesn't put any more stress on any specific hitter. If that one hitter, say Josie or Halle, aren't having a good game, then other people can step up and can put the ball down. So I think that makes a huge difference when you get into these big games too, because they're going to key in on two of our big hitters, and those other hitters have been able to step up and really take over a match and, fill those gaps where needed.
Final thing for you, be reminisce, because it is a state tournament, and I always like to bring up the seniors, and you could talk about an ample opportunity in all six of them, but what is, as a core, what has this group meant to this program here, not just this season, Angie, but for the last couple of years, where it was freshmen to C squad to JV to being varsity players right now in 2022 across the board?
This group, I say every year the senior group is special, but this group were freshmen when I first started. So they were my first freshman group, and they didn't know me. They've heard about me. They kind of just bought into everything that me and Beth, my assistant, we've been here all 4 years, that we've kind of been preaching, and we've changed some things up on them, and they've really just bought into whatever we've preached. And I think that, we have that amount of trust between all of them and us, and they're just such a special group. They'll do anything that we ask of them. They're not afraid to ask us questions and to challenge us to be better too. And I think that is important as well when you're trying to be one of the best teams in the state. But just their ability to buy in and give 110% at every single practice, and then to be those leaders for the underclassmen, and just on and off the court. They're great students, they're great people, and they're great athletes too. So I couldn't ask for anything better.
Angie, thanks so much for your time, and best of luck here in the quarterfinals from the Bismarck Event Center.
Thank you.
Thanks again to all the players, to head coach Angie Johnson and activities director Bryce Laxdal setting up this state volleyball preview earlier in the week. A reminder, Northern Cass minded our Redeemers at 5 o'clock on Thursday for our audio-only broadcast on Thursday afternoon at 5, and then we'll follow Northern Cass as well on Friday and Saturday throughout the State Class B volleyball tournament in Bismarck. I'm Chase Miller. Thanks to all the sponsors, and thanks to you as well for tuning in to this Your Live Event State Volleyball Preview here with Northern Cass.